Good morning to everyone. In this video, I will discuss about inter-VLAN access list. Specifically, we will create a demonstration on how to isolate, for example, the IT department VLAN to communicate with the other VLAN. So we will do the configuration in enterprise level network environment. We will use EVE-NG to demonstrate to simulate the configuration. So we have two scenario that I will be created. So number one is I will isolate the whole IT VLAN to communicate with the other VLAN. And then the next one, I will isolate the whole VLAN also to communicate to other VLAN, but I will permit one host in finance department to reach from one of the PC from the IT department. So this is my topology. So as you can see, uh, I have a core switch. On the core switch, all interface VLAN is configured. We have access switches on each department, and each switch has two VLAN, one for the data, one for the switch management IP. And then, so it is connected by a trunk. So the access list that we will create it will be applied on interface VLAN 30. So now we will start if you want to see the full configuration of my topology, you can visit the video on the upper link below and to understand the whole configuration of all switches. I will not discuss here because it will take too long. So I have a separate video about the whole configuration of the switches. So let's go to the configuration. So number one, so as you can see, I have three uh, window here. The first one is the topology. Okay, so this is the one we will achieve. We will only communicate the IT staff to each other, and it cannot be communicated with the other VLAN. So I have here the EVE-NG. The the This is the one we will use to simulate the configuration. So here, as you can see, when you double click this PC, it will show the PC. When you double click the core, it will select this, it will show the CLI. So first, what we have to do is to test first if these two PC can communicate with the other VLAN so that we are sure that on the start we are correct. So number one, we will ping the we will ping the finance 10.10.40.2. So as you can see, it can communicate to the other VLAN. We'll try also uh, maybe the second PC on finance, which is 3. So it's still go and communicate. The second PC also, we will just try to ping the finance 10.10.40.2. So as you can see, it's pingable and ping the 3. Okay, and also it can ping the first PC on the IT VLAN, which is 30.2, and the second one PC can ping 10.10.30.3. Sorry, wrong. 0.3. Okay, so this means that this PC can communicate from here and also to each other. So what we will do, we will block this IT subnet to communicate to the other VLAN. So let's go to the configuration. So first, config T. So first, you always check the show access list so that we know that we cannot override the other access list number. So as you can see, the last access list here is 171. So I will create 180. I will just pick 180. So config T access list 180. Okay, and then I will permit only IP protocol, and then the subnet only 30. dot 0, then wildcard subnet mask, and then destination is on the same VLAN only, 0, then 0.0.0.255, and then we'll create another one which is deny IP any. Okay, after that we will apply it to the interface VLAN of 30. Okay, outgoing of the interface VLAN 30. Config T, I will show you. Show running config. As you can see, the VLAN 30 has no access list applied. So we will apply this 180 config T. There is VLAN 30 and then IP access group 180 and then out. And then that's it. Show access list 180, which is correct. Show running config. As you can see, the interface is applied already. Now we'll test. So we'll test first. So I will make it. I will I will test to ping to each other first. So IT to IT. So VLAN 30, and then this PC is going to 30.2. So they can communicate to each other. Now we'll try to communicate with the 40.2. As you can see, it is denied. So 40, wrong, 40.2. So now the PC in here cannot communicate to the other VLAN. Okay, the next scenario that we will create is um, we will it's the same access list, but we will add that one of this PC 10.10.30.3 will only communicate with 10.10.40.2. So host to host will add another access list line on the access list. So for to make it clear, so let's clear up the configuration. So I will remove first the interface VLAN access group on the VLAN thread so that we will create from the scratch. Config T interface VLAN 30 and then no. Okay, and then so we'll create a new access list 181. Okay, config T. Usually we can use 180, but I want to create a new one just to make it clear. Access list 181, and then we'll say permit IP host 10.10.30.3. This is the PC from the IT department, and then to host 10.10.40.3, which is from the finance. So this only two can communicate, the rest will not. And then except from that, we will permit also the whole subnet 0 0.0.55. So 0.0.255 10.10.30.0. So I'm telling that uh, I'm allowing the VLAN 30 only to itself, and then one PC for the finance, and then after that is deny IP any deny IP any. Okay, then Z show access list 181. So this is the one we created. It has 3 lines, and then show run will apply to the interface VLAN 30. Sorry, this one. Config T interface VLAN 30. Okay, IP access group 181 out, Then we'll show running config. So it's already apply and the access list is this one. So now let's test. So I'm expecting that this PC will communicate with 40. Okay, 40.2. Come on. Okay, we will check now the access list 181. AN show access list 181. So this is the correct access list. So I I I create an access list which is telling that if the host is from 10.10.30.3, it will be allowed to communicate with 10.10.40.3, which is finance. And then the reverse traffic will be, we will allow the 10.10.40.3 to communicate with 10.10.30.3. So, and then the line 30 will be deny IP any. It means all the traffic on VLAN 30 will only allow to go out to this IP address. The rest, it will can communicate only to VLAN 30 host. You don't need to add the subnet of 30 because it's automatically, if they are on the same VLAN, they can see it to each other. Okay, but on the last statement is deny IP any, and then what we do, we apply it on outgoing of our interface VLAN. So as you can see here, the VLAN 30 is out, the outside interface of interface VLAN. So meaning if you're going out with this IP, you will be allowed. And then if the return traffic is from 40, you will be allowed to communicate to this one. So host to host. And then the rest will be blocked. So if you will test, as you can see, we will test now. We will ping the finance 40.3, 40.3. As you can see, it is reachable from the PC. Okay, the ping is came from here going to here, from here going to here. Okay, and now we will check the IP between the VLAN. So I will ping the 30.2, which is the IT first PC. It is switchable. So the second PC, I will ping the 3. Wrong. Then the 10.30.3. It should be. It should be 30.3. So back in port, the users in VLAN 30 will be able to communicate to each other, but this one cannot communicate with the other VLAN except the finance. For example, ping 10.10.10.2, it is blocked because I'm going to the other VLAN except the one I define on the access list. We will check the marketing VLAN 30.2, no, 20.2, still blocked. But if you will check the finance, it can communicate with 30.3. Okay, but it cannot communicate with 30.2. Okay, so it's clear. So what we did is we let the VLAN 30 to communicate to each other, and also we allow this PC to communicate only to this PC. So this is like a additional complex configuration, but the way it will be done should be like that. So should be like this: show access list 181, and it should be something like this only. This simple as that. You don't need to mention the VLAN 30 because it's automatically they can see to each other because they are on the same VLAN. Okay, so and then uh, lastly, current. So these are the for the final slide. I just write some common commands that I am using. Show access list. To edit is you should have to follow like this. To remove the access list is something like this. And the tips for subnet, if you're denying a single one, it should be 000. If you deny /24, it should be 0.255 the subnet mask. Okay, that's it. Thank you so much. Uh, Thank you so much, and I hope it helps in your configuration. And please subscribe in my channel and watch the other videos. Thank you so much.